Y'all say fire, cease.
Fire.
Cease.
Fire.
Brothers seem like they won't hesitate before they kill one another. It's so easy to take the life of another brother because brothers hate their mere reflection. These things we possess are beautiful. But we've been taught they're ugly and grotesque to self-internalization and disdain. How does it not self the pain? We constantly contain. We feel to take up arms against the oppressor, so we turn against one another. And that enemy wants is your brother, not earth, which was birth is your sisters and of your children, future mothers. But once again, I repeat differently. See, brothers will hesitate for they murder one of me, but they think once, twice, thrice, 4 times when they kill that white man not like me. Cease.
Fire.
Like Tupac said, can we see some changes? Learn to see me as your brother rather than a distant stranger, because I'm your family, your friend. We share similar DNA and complexion of skin, but being yourself, you're killing it from yourself. You're robbed and stealing it for your own kind. Brother, man, you ain't got no feeling. And every time we lose a brother by the hands of another brother, it's genocide, so you might as well say that it's suicide. Cease.
Fire.
It's rationalism. We as the people must decipher. I speculate that psychological manipulation has been put into effect like a clockwork cycle. The mass media's negative images and betrayals and stereotypes got us loving and living this crazy life. I was so cold to snatch each other's out of sight. I let rounds go while ducking the dollar 5-0. Make the evening news on television and reinforce mainstream society's fears on one form of domestic terrorism. So I'm outside of the club and you think I'm a punk. And I go for my loaded Tech 9 and pop the trunk. I told him my niggas body on the ground, sweating putrid and foul like a skunk. All because he made me feel like a chump. I should have shelled the fuss away and allowed him to see another day. The Fred wasn't necessary, but I eliminated his life, my gun's friend, with my mantra, which is mine talking about. I'm gonna be blasting my gang. Exterminate these niggas like roaches and rats. Cease.
Fire.
Woo. Why this mentality of ours seems to be so contagious? Why we chasing down a girl, we just call ourselves courageous. And whoever said we don't die, we multiply, that's a damn lie. We're not growing as a whole. We've been programmed to initiate our own population control. We slaughter each other by our own hand. Massacre your brother like Custer's last stand. And y'all remember Mixed Society when Cain was asked by his granddaddy, do you care whether he live or die? He was definitely pondering why. But by the end, it was too late. He already got handed his tragic fate. Brother, we got to become awake and controls on our own plate. The odds are stacked against us. Like Mortal Kombat, the system is trying to finish us. Now, heard Marcus Garvey's crowd and he said, rise and get organized. In order to get this straight, we must be working, have faith. Lisa's dead. And to my heart, it truly hurts when I see too many brothers in every city I go to wearing rest in peace in their shirt. Cease.
Fire.
Cease.
Fire.
Cease.
Fire.
Word, y'all. Yo, yeah, they do it, huh? You can hold it like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got it all up on me there. I'm not going to be the host. As usual, is I want to introduce one of the sisters of the organization. She's been in the organization about a year. Her name's Miranda Finnison, aka Timber, and I let her finish the rest of her biography and everything. So y'all can say the word for Timber.
Word.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We've had a couple of open mics this year, but this is probably the best one that we've had. With the most people showing up, so we hope that you all enjoy what you see tonight. It's going to be kind of like a showcase and an open mic. We have more people on the sign-up sheet than usual also, but the first person I'm going to bring up to you tonight is part of the organization, and tonight's assignment was basically to spit a piece about some politics. So I'm going to bring up Suave Callion to bless you. So say word for Suave.
Word.
A war of terrorism to a war in Iraq. It's so hard to imagine that the world's strongest superpower to our wall, to the wall on our backs. Whole families' lives are acrobats because of casualty facts. Opposing forces submit someone's folks to disappearing acts. All the matches scratch opponents sparking interest through guerrilla attacks. Even vengeance fatigue fascists is back. Didn't learn from the Cold War how this shit it all go. Freedom supposed to mean so much more. Less than a month before President election '04. Look what Washington showed. The 9/11 Minority Report. They planning the time explosion like a demolition C4 threatened by irrelevance. Thus the politicians' urban report.
Word.
Say word again for my man Suave.
Word.
Next to the mic, we're going to bring up the other young ladies organization. There's only 2 of us,
I'm the one with the gun. I'm busting son, so you better run because I'm coming in your bun. So bow down to me like I'm royalty. Politically speaking, my people took the beating. In this world, this white man world, he did what he did and to raise a Rika world to his liking. Now it's their leader that we say we're disliking while he's telling us to take a hike and ride a bike because gas done went up and we can't say so what because some don't get his check that's cut, making our block hot. It's continuous, it hasn't stopped. They still killing each other with that same old Glock. It's a steady number that's gonna drop by the minute, by the hour, by the rise of the sun. That's why politically speaking, we live in a nation where it isn't fair. They don't care. We bust our ass just to live. People of color, that's why I began to speak about the mindset, the staggering state. We deal with the society, do it big, and then some hate, doing crime for pleasure, when we need to think of how to better our minds, our bodies, our beautiful skin, our intelligence, strength, everything that's within. Politically speaking, they said we were the people that's not going to win. In our lives, they constantly try to stay in, watching, looking, predicting our moves, destroying our credit before we even graduate from school, provide us with poor education or strong relations, trying to beat the odds, living like slobs in the project slums, keeping us face down in the dirt and think we all gonna be dumb. Politically speaking, the state was the church. They are separated now, but they both are corrupt. Head of the church, bad news. Head of the White House, bad news. They tried to use power and money to change the rules, incidents of authority they have abused still. It's our innocent people they seek to use. So if you're not on that page, they think you'll lose. When Bush is in town, his people bow down. While he's in church, everybody is listening to another man say, I've been on the church for this long, and now is the time that I can actually say that God is in here. While you destroy, while you kill, you created something new. I don't know about you, but I have a will. Maybe it could be better if the president was Trill Bill. Maybe this deal is so for real. Don't know about you, but I feel lonely. I think I may lose my love, my closest homie, my sugar, sweet. He is so unique, kingly fresh. He is the best. But politically speaking, turn away from me like I'm royalty. I'm never afraid that he's a mother. I'm never one of these, motherfuckers around here you see. I'm speaking politically, phenomenally, beautifully, intelligently, freely, clearly, strongly, to hell with politics. Look at this shit, it makes me sick. And you can lick, kiss, but no fucking with your little ass dick, my big black ass.
Give another word for Dejana.
Word.
As I said, my name is Miranda Fenderson. I go by the stage name of Timber. And my saying is, you have to give them what they want in order to give them what they need. This next poem that I'm about to do is just entitled Political Peace. And I wrote it when the day I went to go vote, because I felt I felt like I was just, doing what I had to do. So it goes like this, Political Peace. This poem is for the people who died for me, the ones that shed blood and cried for me, hung high, beat low so I could be free. This poem is for the strong, the ones who lasted long, moving on past discrimination in skin color, who helped me to recognize the next man as my brother, my sister, my lover, or my next of kin. See, it's selfish when you forget the roots from which you came, killing a brother before knowing his name, judging a sister just to reap all the fame and make yourself look so damn good. This poem is for those who paved roads and picked cotton, birthing babies and working hard the next day, gathering people to plan an escape. This poem is for the persistent, resisting against the oppressor, with eyes like skies and hair of platinum or gold, those too damn good to be sold. And though I am a product of that history, one that enslaved my people and at the same time pretended to set them free, creating babies of lighter shades and a better grade of hair, called a house nigga, sellout, and uppity, but I'm proud. I'll scream it loud because I'm blacker than most Africans. Classier than most Europeans, like rice, like Chinamen, and I am like some Jamaicans, but I am black, no doubt. See, I will never forget the struggle of my people, nor will I lessen the value of my worth. I pray hard that I am making them proud as long as I'm sentenced to this damned earth. Hearing the screams of my ancestors as I dream, the burning flesh of Malcolm X and the haunting voice of Dr. King, see, I don't want to forget the things that they've done for me. And though I can't imagine the pain they felt, I can sense their misery. The hard that fighting for equality took. Still, more black men reach for guns and fast women than books, but I will not forget. The black mothers whose black children didn't come home at night, but instead decorated the trees. The slaves whose backs shed blood for missing a single cotton seed. See, these are the people that I admire. Struggling for respect, come hell or high water, peaceful protests in the streets was their gunfire. These are the ones who I remember as I vote. These are the people I remember before I sell my soul to a world full of youngsters ignorant to their history. If you can't find God, then please just look for me and I will lead you until you see his face. Because this poem is for those who know how to praise God even in their misery. The ones who are strong and those that perish, just for me. Next on the mic is Core Black. So say a word for Core Black.
Word.
Name of this poem is Shit Off My Chest. When the eyes of perception is clear, not seeing through fogs and fears, there's a vast sanity when your most worry isn't about vanity. In a world where admitting you crazy in some way makes you sane. The gas prices are so high, we all know who to blame. Pockets full of lint and thoughts of pushing cane no longer remain self-conscious, but on the front park benches where the victims of their first hit sit and reminisce about how it could have been. Nigga, I just tell them that it should have been. Uncle my kin died from lung cancer within boundaries of a country that makes cancer on a stick of trend. That once in hell becomes a permanent currency in these jails where the population excels with black minority free and the majority will need a bail. This is just the surface of the hard stories to tell. I'm much compelled to move to Mars, away from SARS and American applause at dumbfounded leaders. When will we have a black presidential ruler in the seat, huh? Not to mention that sex is the #1 feature on the television, where it's all right to be gay. Now they legalizing marriages for it, so I guess it's okay. And we wondering why Osama Obama is sitting on tape with an AK talking shit about us. The U.S. is the most violent, also the most hypocritical, and one side like a flounder. We'll make $1 trillion pounders and only eat one. Then show sick feed to children with frowns of fun. Ain't that an ironical pun? But this red, white, and blue has wasted a ton from cutting black nations from their roots to killing Native Americans after Thanksgiving food. Man, this country has flourished by luck, because this country was founded by some fucks. Blacks really built this nation, and we wondering why masters descendants hate me. Sometimes I wish I was black as a raven, building a bridge to Africa and paving this land of the free is so vexed by the bloodshed of the enslaved and innocents that were wrecked. This life is sometimes simple but much complex. I just felt like getting some shit off my chest.
Core Black.
Word.
Before we bring up the first artist on this sign-up sheet, we're also going to do a kind of
Quote of the day.
tribute to an already established poet. We're going to bring up Kai to present and say some things about Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou, born April 4th, 1928, is Marguerite Johnson in St. Louis, was raised in segregated rural Arkansas. She is a poet, historian, author, actress, playwright, civil rights activist, producer, and director. Maya Angelou, poet, was among the first African American women to hit the bestsellers list with her I Know Why the Cage Birds Sing. In the 60s, at the request of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., she became the Northern Coordinator for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And in 1975, she received the Ladies' Home Journal Woman of the Year Award in Communication. Maya Angelou is currently Reynolds Professor at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm going to read Still I Rise and Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. Start with Phenomenal Woman. Pretty women wonder where my secrets lie. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, and the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellas stand or fall down to their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing of my waist and the joy show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about, or have to walk real loud. When you see me passing, I ought to make you proud. I say it's the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care, 'cause I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. The next one I read is Still I Rise. You write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may try me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Do you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered like eyes. Shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me down with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds meeting at the end of my thigh? Does my, sorry. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear the tide. Leaving behind the nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Word.
Hollywood, Bacardi. So everybody say word.
Word.
Laying more pieces, Midnight Disease. It's kind of wordy, and most people usually don't like my stuff because they don't understand it. So if you turn off after the first 30 seconds, I won't be offended. Alright. Also, it's based off a book about like when you have writer's block or the need to write. It's like having a disease, so it's called Midnight Disease. Paved the way to the world's dreams, concrete word. I rose like the rose in the concrete dreams deferred. Now I could do it the Negro way. Yeah, okay. Triple beans preferred. I'm not gay, so when I say how will I know if he really loves me, I mean Jesus. My lines get hyped in the mold, mean media, midnight diseases. And when my pen hits the paper, like feces. Poetry club, Sunday through Saturday nights, fever like beaches. Holla, la, 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 holla, if you know who wants to be a millionaire like Regis. Cause meals ain't enough for future spending tendencies. I need a good billion or two, pinned to the ceiling now. How else can I embrace the world to feed the children? We got 15 million plus American kids below the poverty line, so I write bonds above and beyond blue lines. It's properly time to address these issues with cash, relieve others so intelligent dames will have to undress some men's magazine covers. Yeah, I got you covered umbrella style, cover your thoughts like a cranium, cerebellum style. Speak your thoughts, ma. It's your song, ma. Tell them now. The midnight disease cancers my sleeping habits till poetry unplugged me. Now I'm sleepless in New York to South Carolina to Seattle, gives me poems, advantage, perfect. Now I can see 2020, is that 40? Born blind to the irony of man's blindness and force my sight to be sore eyes for the truth. Now if the truth hurts, then feature Rakim's master plan in the booth. Came out the booth like Superman, cause ain't nothing but lint inside my hand either. And I'm all about the non-rich, not non-believers. Subliminal oral sex stone, cause when I eat, I leave it to beaver. Attract queen bees of pheromones. Attract queen bees of pheromones and repel male drones and ether. Come here, bunny rabbit. I have so many thoughts about dames. I ran the train on my train of thought. Unprotected seconds go by with no love in mind. Should us we die from the birth of time of what was taught. But I'm a teacher, next man's child raiser in career, other people's girlfriend pleaser. I listen to the doors, open doors, and I listen to Weezer. And I hang with white kids, Barry's son and daughter, you know those white kids. Make love to clans and daughters, an enemy public enemy. Don't believe the hype kid. I can't trust it either, Chuck, cause I got sharp delivery, string of the heart delivery, shit sharp with chivalry. I'm too smart for niggatry. The midnight disease, pillages, pages, scrimmages, saviors, all vying for self-righteous flavors. Insomnia, rhyming binges mixed with connotative behaviors. Making the words, making the band, and making poems in general, making them major. Making money avoiding monsters and egos. Making money avoiding wants of egos. You know that I hate myself, so let's all lose typical ethos. The music matrix reloads. Cause I'd rather make money with blacks. I can't stand to be a spiteful man and both of us be broke with guns and idle hands. Hands in them, yeah, the ears of lyrical lovers, yo, I got plans for them. The flames of my rain, I'm fanning them. I shoot people with my notes of Kodak, cannon in them. Words of Jews and I stand out. Words of Jews and I stand out cause I'm outstanding with gems. Words of Jews not stand out because I'm outstanding with gems. As kills by the shipment shop on eBay for equipment. Equality for all, the weight of the world we lifted. We started biz slow, but then I saw the light at the speed of light, and I got biz quick. Opposing ships so full of ish, I cannon them with cannonballs running 1 in 2 parts. I play a card joker because I got an ace of diamonds. Rings for my girlfriend, the queen of hearts. Ain't no lie, bye, black if I'm the black business. I'm a lion that Jehovah can't bear, so Jehovah bear witness. Yo, I ain't never scared if my back is yellow. I'm Georgia technical handling, testing. Went 2 nights with 12 like Kenny Anderson was yellow jacketing them. All the way to the final 4 years ago. Not that beautiful girl right here, that dude with the record there, now here's a hoe. Yo, I handle flows, some untitled, some stripped down to bare essentials like D'Angelo. So if it's untitled, then how does it feel? Tis the question advantage. Oh, graceful as a deer, my dear, smooth as an antelope. It's sad to be oppressed, makes success be regress, you can't handle hope. So what do you hope for a hope to be? Got dimes at home, but still you grown like Kobe. Be good, be all you could be. Grip your life by the hands, try plans them and be dexterous, birth new worth and exit the deadness. And when I showed up, flow from the floor up into her wetness. Split splash, big words with thick long letters, stroke the folds of her dream. By driving her out sane, inside her insane. My midnight disease left posts of ish stains, so let's have an ish in. My fuel is my engine and juice the fires, my thoughts and modes my pistons. Torsion and cylinders, and when it's late and it's real cold outside, go inside your soul to the sole of your feet. The midnight diseases take on it, it's to take control. Yeah, and you don't stop, bro. I'm from the Bronx, cause it's area code 718 on an undercover poetry spot.
Just to let everybody know, on Wednesday, the Mass Communication Students Association is hosting a chocolate factory party. It's going to be in the ballroom of the Student Center. Tickets are $3 for singles and $5 for couples. We're going to have 3 different types of chocolate fondue passing out, like fruit and stuff. Nice little grown and sexy type of event. Nice soft music for everybody to just come out and enjoy themselves.
No jeans, no tennis shoes.
Yeah, no jeans, no tennis shoes. So, if y'all want to get tickets, you can hit up anybody that you know in MassCom. Also, we'll be in the caf every day during lunch and dinner to sell tickets too. Thank you.
All right, next to the mic,
Commercial.
gonna have mathematics come up. Y'all get prepared. Say word.
Word. Be the sponsor.
This piece I'm gonna do right here is called, well, before poetry, my first love is hip hop. That's something I've been doing since I was 10. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get, you know what I'm saying? What the hell is a mathematics? I can't with this joint called a name right here. It's mean that shit. Occasionally I happen to be the greatest MC that ever stepped on this wonderful planet. Watch how I take a blank picture, make it a colorful canvas. They tried to run with the mammoth, now they running for hammers. I fix the game with precision, should have become a mechanic. I get in tune with the rhythm. The melody is every breath of me when I'm spitting. I put them out of commission. Flow so passionately that my tongue locks into submission. Then the high force takes course, I'm no longer present. All you see is his presence. You see his spirit just left him. Watch it ascend to the heaven, just send down. Hell showers turn the art of war into the art of Armageddon. Or the art of jihad. These niggas playing with God. I thought I told you stop playing with Charles. I gave you warning, but you proceeded. Now you face torment and execution. Now back to your essence. It's the theory of evolution. You hear me? I'm never losing. As sure as the sky is blue and as sure there's oxygen, you'll be seeing a lot of them. Ain't nobody as hot as them. Ain't the soul that's stopping them. Watch them shine like halogens. It ain't nobody dropping them. Holla thug life. You would think he got Tupac in him. He gonna have your attention until the world is watching him. Hear me speaking in third person. I guess I'm the Trinity. While your family falling off, I guess you're the Kennedy. So you're gonna remember me. Even if you erase it from memory, everywhere you go, you feeling my energy. I might sip a Corona, might sip on some Billy D, and mix it with Paul, or better yet, some Hennessy. Got a tone, I'm a swagger. Some niggas might try to mimic me. When I go to the club, it's rock tees and denim jeans. This ain't a gimmick, G, it's the real Carlito. Niggas wanna finish me but can't kill Carlito. Not to say that I'm bulletproof, not to say that I'm Teflon. No lie, I'm full of truth, I'm the one that they slept on. They tried to sabotage and hold me down, but I kept going. They tried to shut me up, but I kept flowing. The haters tiptoeing around me, but I sleep with the heat. Just like I live in Bermuda, so if you run up, I'll shoot you. But I don't glorify violence, gotta look out for the future. The generation is lost, gotta carry the cross. Won't hear me rapping my jewelry or blueberry portion for the children. I don't care what they do in the source. I get in tune with the force like a Jedi Knight. Just call me Luke Skywalker. Or better yet, Anakin. See, I'm gambling with the dark side. It's slowly controlling my being, so don't try to provoke him when you see him. Mathematics is the name. Here's an acronym if you missed it. MC's a few, and many are dropped in existence. Come on, yeah. MC's a few, and many are dropped in existence. Mathematics is the name. Here's an acronym if you missed it. MC's a few, and many are dropped in existence. I write it, I live it, I breathe it, I speak it, I live it. Hold on. I write it, I live it, I speak it, I breathe it, I bleed it. Like a hemophilic for the dumb, deaf, and blind, and mentally paraplegic. On my right hand on my heart, I pledge allegiance. Whoa. Not to the flag, but to the music. Because these MCs are facetious. They demons who claim to be Jesus, but they false prophets. All they do is feed you garbage and false profit. So,
Word.
What up, everybody? This poem I'm about to recite, I wrote it when I was broke, having girl problems, and having nigga problems too. Here you go. It's called Me Against the World. I ain't seen a $1 bill since I worked for the bank. Even then, they wouldn't let me in the monetary tank. Kept the money in the safe. I've been tempted many times to grab a gun and put some truth to these gangster rappers' rhymes. It be like that sometimes. You just want to go and choke folks who be making jokes about you always being broke. You wake up like, damn, I'm feeling ill today. Don't get me wrong, I got a job, but I got bills to pay. The car note to the dealership, they don't know who they dealing with. They want it Monday, I got it Tuesday, but they don't even be feeling it. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll pay it when I feel like it. Yeah, I got debts on my head, but I'm still writing. Trying to keep me out of school, but I'm still fighting. They must think I'm some kind of fool, cause if they do, I'll put them where I think they should and need to be. Cause I got 2 middle fingers, they both agree with me. Man, it's not like I talk like this every day, but it's not like I talk like this every day. It's just that every day somebody's attitude is in my way. I know I can't control the way other people act, but if you say something stupid, you need a well-deserved slap. I got this chick who loves the giggle and please me, but I can't wife her cause she's much too easy. Messed with one of my homeboys and she still wanna holler. Sometimes I think she probably swallowed for $1. I he's in it, he's like, young, let's ride around the front. What's the rest of that part? I have it in there. Hold on. Turn it. I had this poem before I came. Every time he's in, he's like, "Yo, let's ride around the front." I forget it.
Bust it.
It's our advisor, who love him so much, love him so dearly, Moses Brown, who us known as Coach Cool. Moses Brown, say word.
Word.
Nice
What's
vest,
going
coach.
on, everybody? What you say?
Nice vest, coach.
Oh. I'm gonna do a piece. I wrote this piece in my car, and I was about to go to Math House and jump in the studio. Matter of fact, when I got there, John was there dropping a couple of his joints on a mixtape that we're doing. Reggie was in there doing a couple of, and Reggie and John did ceasefire that night. The name of this joint is I Have a Dream. It goes like this. See, I have a dream, this dream you will observe. If you have the dream, my dream, say word. I have a dream, this dream you will observe. If you have the dream, my dream, say word. I have a dream like Martin Luther King. I talk to the caged birds and I know why they sing. I wear bald head, but don't call me Mr. Clean. Just try to open minds to how I do things, true things. It's not all about the bling bling. Classes in session. Then you hear the bell ring. Got close to 1 million that's locked up in the pen from New York to California, from Folsom to Sing Sing. It's a shame, man. That's why I'm trying to spread my name, man. Flow stepped up since Polo pulled me in the game, man. I'm trying to maintain with all the stress on my brain. This dream's about to drive me insane. I have a dream, this dream you will observe. If you have the dream, my dream, say word. I have a dream, this dream you will observe. If you have the dream, my dream, say word. See, sometimes I hope and wish that God will come here, take me away, and show me something glorious. And while I'm there, hoping that I get a chance to see Tupac and the great Notorious. Because I'm looking for better days and better ways to make it through this struggle. Stay out of trouble and avoid wicked folks just waiting to burst my bubble. See, I'm on a quest to do my best to help the less fortunate and stressed. Teach them to be blessed so their minds can finally be at rest. See, God has chosen me to teach my people that life's just a test, that you can't pass with that cess on your chest. Because I don't want to be a college dropout like Kanye West. Then you'll be drug dealing just to get by. Stacking money till it gets sky high. Kids, sing. Kids, sing. I have a dream, this dream you will observe. If you have the dream, my dream, say word. I have a dream, this dream you will observe. If you have the dream, my dream, say word.
Next to the mic, we're gonna have Mr. Jannard Johnson.
Today.
So, give a word for Jannard Johnson.
Word.
This piece is about an activity that I just acquired doing, and I think it's a real nice activity, so I decided to write about it. The name of this poem is entitled, Don't Eat My Lucky Charms.
That's what's up.
When the sun sets, my mouth becomes wet, so I seek a type of activity to relieve stress off my chest. I have a lot of built-up frustration where I don't want to fight or cause harm. My mouth has a tasty treat, so I call it my Lucky Charms. Before I knew it, they were knocking at my door saying, damn, why the hell you don't call no more? Hush, I didn't tell you to speak. You are only here so I can eat. So quit all that talking and let's do this for free. So to the table we make haste. Before eating, I say grace. Almighty, thank you for this meal again. Well, I hope it will nourish my stimulation. Amen. I know my Lucky Charms. There's no confusion with Captain Crunch, Cocoa Puffs, or Frosted Flakes. Besides, my Lucky Charms are already great. And yes, I do make mistakes. I might catch my Lucky Charms quite sour because I've caught them on their expiration date. But when you get a fresh pack and you start to eat them dry, that's when they become soggy and wet. I like to cook my. But when you get a fresh pack, you know, I start off eating them dry, but they become wet. The hell with a spoon, I put my face up in it to create a mess. I love those marshmallows as they touch my tongue. Eating and slurping, I'm having too much fun. Hold on, man.
You got nervous over that, dog?
No, let's start.
I'm not saying.
Hey. Alright. I love those marshmallows when they touch my tongue. Slurping and eating, damn it, I'm having too much fun. Sometimes they get so wet I just won't lie. But I just won't lie. I want to whip out a straw and soak that motherfucker dry. I love the taste of those rainbows, hearts, and moons too. But when those clovers start to drop in my mouth, god damn it, my Lucky Charms are through. I'm quite creative when I'm eating my dish. I will eat them in places that people only wish. I will eat them in the movies when the lights go out. I will eat them in a porta potty as long as they can reach my mouth. I will eat them in a traffic jam just to waste time. I will eat them before a final test to relax my mind. I will eat them at a park for extra flavor, add honey. I will eat them at Six Flags right in front of Bugs Bunny. I will eat them at home. I will eat them at home while my mama walks into the other room. I will eat them in Kroger on aisle 12 next to house supplies and the brooms. Yes, I will eat them. They are quite addictive like crack. Sometimes I wish they were sold in a Lucky Charm 12 pack. And if you do a good job by eating them slow, sometimes quick, those Lucky Charms might get you yearn to talk to your popsicle stick. Yes, my Lucky Charms are amazing and quite nutritious. They are part of this balanced breakfast because they are magically delicious. With all of this in mind, don't eat my Lucky Charms because I'm the only one that's equipped. Besides, why would you want to eat them when I've already sprayed them down for me?
Anybody go to the bathroom?
I want to eat them like the sound.
Word for Jannard.
Word.
Don't be too much. Gonna bring up another member of the organization. I think we'll hear from Ronaldo Lawson now, since he hasn't gone yet.
Right.
So, everybody say word for Ronaldo.
Alright, for those that y'all don't know, this is my first time doing something like this. I mean, I do all kind of different performances, but spoken word is the first for me. This is gonna be the first poem that y'all hear, many more, hopefully. So just take a listen. Taken by a smile and the way she leaned towards me all the while, slowly approaching me with caution and fear, catching my mind, eye, and ear. Oh yes, she is beautiful. And I'm not just talking about those shapely hips or those full and fiery lips, and not to forget those captivating curves that would fill her corset if she lived in the times of the Victorian Virgin. Well, I'm sorry. I deeply apologize. Sometimes I fall to fantasize about those angelic and peaceful times in all those different books of the past. And you know the kind with those endless pages with the same color as a close friend's cast, littered with words of hope, concern, and true honesty. That's what I hope her spoken words may carry. Because a woman with such beauty and grace, found by any true man, is hard to replace. Just by some other female whose physical appearance may be appealing, but her mind and spirit are flaking and peeling like a Caucasian on a hot day without SPF 15. Every man with a heartbeat knows exactly what I mean. Because we've all encountered that woman with that thing, like that girl Lauryn Hill sang. And no matter how much we may go through, we still yearn for the one who's supportive and loving. The kind we can bring home to mama. The kind who's truly not down with all that damn drama. The kind who will feed you with feed you good with not only her home cooking, but feed you your soul that halt all your searching and looking. I'm talking about a woman, through and through, the servant of a man who will see her true, through the bad and the good, without complaints, erasing in all his minds all the wants and needs. Because that's exactly what I strive to be. And I'll be damned that I'll put up with anything that can't keep up with me, mentally and spiritually. And if all those books have some validity, and all good things happen to those with patience and humility, a woman and a man will see the dawn of what this country really needs: a strong family, our future. Thank you.
Word.
Before I bring up the next artist, I'm going to do a piece called Real Hip Hop. Some people have heard it. It's kind of the only one that I know by heart. So I'm going to go ahead and spit it and act like I have more in my pocket. Goes like this. See, I met this man who incited me to poetry. I read every verse like they were the last verses I'd ever read. He sort of reminded me of hip hop, making love to R&B now. I am intrigued by the result. They call it mainstream. Now, pretty locks have been traded in for faded jeans and Manolo Timbs. No beatboxing by corner stores. Instead, we shake our asses like video whores. We talk about guns like the Every Child ABCs and talk about killing our own kind like the widespread AIDS disease. The crossing over of hip-hop was devastating to the bone. It's taking over the minds of men, and now real hip-hop has no home. Hip-hop stands on the corner holding a sign that reads, "We'll spit knowledge and give them a chance to rhyme," but you know people nowadays, they never have the time to even stop and breathe. But we need them to take heed, so we give them what they want in order to give them what they need. Most Def with a little bit of Chingy, Common with some R&B, Beyonce with some Jay-Z. See, we give them what they want in order to give them what they need, because real hip-hop is not mainstream.
Word.
Freestyle, he's still in the building? Okay. So, then next we're going to bring potassium cyanide. Is he still in the building? Alright, say word.
This one I did was in response to, it's called in response to one my boy did back there. It's called 41 Questions. You got 99 problems, but a bush ain't one. But I got 41 questions that bother me, son. If you lost faith in money, what people still kill for? Yo, since when military records more important than education, Medicare, and Homeland Security? Yo, why wasn't Homeland Security no ride at an FAA prepared for 19 hijackers with box cutters? Whoa, why are we looking for weapons of mass destruction when box cutters are sold at almost every store in the U.S.? Yo, Bush, where are our weapons of mass destruction? Girl, you seem to like me now? You seem to like me. Let the cash run out? Or would you run to that other nigga who throw out cheddar like it was the daily garbage? Yo, why does mainstream society treat us like idiots? Is it because we'd rather read the gossip about celebrities than pick up a Wall Street journal? Is it because we'd rather watch 16 bitches throw themselves at a dude for money than watch 30 minutes of CNN? Or is it because we'd rather pay $20 to hear the same bullshit quoted by different rappers who imitate what they see on cops? You got 99 problems, but Bush ain't one. Well, I got 32 questions. Can I talk to you, son? Yo, why is it cool to be gangster? Does anybody know the true meaning of gangster? Wait a minute. If you up in gangster and you ain't gang affiliated, doesn't that make you a gangster? Why is it still racing in 2004? Why did Willie Lynch become our best nigga? Yo, why do I have to be different just to be different? And what the fuck is white people music? Man, you're flossing all that ice, and that shit is pretty nice, but you live with your mama and the repo man is knocking at your door. Yo, why did light-skinned brothers go out in the 90s but assholes are still in style? Why do some girls getting our prostitutes only become whores to a wedding ring? Yo, why do I have to play to get play? Yo, why is having sex a big deal? Wait a minute, why is not having sex a big deal? Tell me, why do girls get mesmerized by spinning rims? Wait, hold on. Why do guys get mesmerized by spinning rims? Why are there so many wars with one God? Why does God only have to bless America? Why are most Christians hypocrites? Why are most Americans conceited? You got 99 problems, but a bush ain't one. I got 14 questions, and then you answer one. Motherfuckers can afford Bentleys, Rolexes, and fronts, but how come they can't afford to buy a belt to keep their pants Yo, why is weed illegal when legit drugs are just as deadly and addictive? The federal government can track what I buy, when I buy it, where I buy it, who I buy it from. How come they can't find Osama bin Laden yet? Yo, and who is this nigga Fiker? And why does he have the right to stronghold my check?
Aight.
Nigga, you talking all that junk? Now you heading to your trunk. Now you got the right to remain silent. And anything you say can will be held against you in a court of law. Why do blacks get pissed at Cosby? Who has the right to define what's offensive? Why must we cut down black institutions? Why must we lower standards to raise self-esteem? Why are they cover so little of the Democratic National Conventions? Wait a minute. How do three banks get robbed in the middle of 2 campaigns and the same city? Why are there black Republicans? Why are Michael Moore and Bill Maher running for office? You got 99 problems and the Bush ain't one. Well, I got one question. That's for everyone. How did 51% of America be such a dumbass?
Alright. Ronaldo, do you have another piece? Next to the mic, I'm gonna bring up Wonder. Still good? Say word for Wonder.
Word.
Like you said, his piece was like a response to my piece. So I'll just read my piece real quick. I got 99 problems, but a bush ain't one. The problem is, the bush has been burning since the beginning of time. It was written on pages, told across stages that the Armageddon is near. Hear ye, hear lies, true lies, told on TV, BET, MTV. But we got caught up in videos and TV shows. Made to wear rose-colored glasses to blind our 20/20 for 60 minutes at a time. CNN. See now, niggas? And when I say that, I mean that. I mean everybody who's ignorant and can't see the TV played that shit right in our face. But the reality is, reality shows closed our minds. People were too busy wanting to be millionaires in the real world while Big Brother was watching real life pass you by. Instead of eating worms and cow testicles, our deepest fears were never challenged. We weren't put in a home where a bunch of men in uniform with guns drawn ran in and told us to get the fuck out. No. We sat home on comfortable chairs and watched who was the next top model getting boned by Joe Millionaire. The truth isn't just hiding in books anymore, people. It's on MSNBC between Serena Williams and NASDAQ. It's replayed and remixed late night right after BET Uncut, but you won't see it because you're blind, baby. You're blind to the fact that clapping back should not be a retaliation between rappers. It's time for a change, and I'm not talking about from jerseys to buttons. I'm talking about changing the channel, turning off the radio, and watching the news. Find out what's going on before the terror threat is elevated. Watch the debate so you know who to vote for, and remember, an idiot box is as smart as the person holding the remote control. We got 4 more years to deal. Don't feel bad for me, son. I got 99 problems for the bullshit one.
I hope I'm doing a good job at closing. This is my first time. Y'all make me feel good, okay? Alright. Next to the mic, again, we're going to have J-Lat, also known as J-Science, so say word.
Word.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was supposed to do a political piece tonight.
What do you do?
You know what I'm saying? But I ain't really have one. Then I was thinking about one. What is politics? So when people think of politics, they think of the government and everything else. But then politics is basically dealing with people, individuals. You know what I'm saying? One thing about people, I don't know, maybe just because where I'm living at, on the shores of North America, it may be different when I step somewhere else, but people can be real fake in some shape, form, or fashion. Real fake, phony, and all this and that. Y'all know about how things are. Yeah, so I'm just go ahead and do something for real. So sometimes, at times, and no time. You see, if I mess up, y'all just bear with me.
Go ahead.
This is for them sometimes. And that timers and no timers, you know the type that speak to you when they won't, and sometimes they don't, those that won't. See, I'm going to be real with you. I hold my heavyweight and sharp lyrics hard hit you, your conscience begin to bother and get you, because if this apply to you, then the shoe fits you. Every day I go signal fronters and stunners and salutation, they don't call for unless you got something to offer. Like, I would speak to Shorty and like, Shorty never spoke to me or gave me a glance. I had a pizza box in my hand and she all approaching her home with nice. Smiling, gleaming pearly whites and got the nerve to ask for a slice. Some people be acting, walking around like they just got freshly manufactured, encased in plastic and gift wrapping, like you're supposed to be bowing down and tap dancing. Oh yeah, you was trying to be in the fraternity's pageant. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And you was starting niggas nuts and crying like you already had it. But since you didn't place, now you got the shit face. So yeah, you was feeling me, grilling me. Asked me about the open mic spoken word poetry, support me. Now you ignore me since you done pledged your sorority. And some fools look you dead in the eye and won't reply when you say hi. Look, bro, that's disrespecting me, neglecting me. I feel like getting a take now, you see, and start checking me, but I ain't gonna be a misfit and be an idiot. Speaking to you so persistent so you can acknowledge my existence. Oh, so today you a little lenient. And speaking because it's convenient to myself when I believe and you probably don't mean it. I done experienced and I done seen it. I hope y'all hear me when I say some people heart ain't full of sincerity. One day they can be cheering thee, the next day jeering thee, but I'm keeping the mind free. I had to write this way of real discovery to let loose this agony, this apathy, this phoniness, this fakeness. Our response is hatred. I wish I could break it like too much friction with the latex doing safe sex, but the notion remains that some things you cannot change, so if the shoe fits you, then wear it. Because for some people slip on easy like their foot was greasy. Don't start chilling now, they won't please you. Smiling in my face and backstab will never appease me. Woman, if you ain't gonna drop the drawers and give it up, don't tease me, because I'm about to business playing games, don't see me. I'm a man of peace, but haters and fakers bring out the internal beast. See, Jesus Christ said, love your enemy and to infinity, but when he asks and sometimes do a difficult task, I said, Jesus Christ said, love your enemy and to infinity, but when he asks and sometimes be a difficult task, so either you're with me or against me. If you get down or you lay down. If you're gonna lay down, you're gonna stay down. Yo.
Say a word again with J Lack. Is Ice back in the building? Alright, we're gonna bring Ice up. He was MIA the first time, so say a word for Ice.
Word.
Yeah, I don't usually write too much when I do spoken words and other stuff like that. I usually just come off my head, so just bear with me. I say I'm coming off the top of my dome, and in my hood, the king of the streets was on the block with the chrome. I maybe had the crack in the socks, but see me, I'm back and back, and I stopped. I listened to my dad, I tried to run away. Yeah, I tried to go to college, get some knowledge, go to the run place, but still I got RoboCop putting guns in people's faces, students. But still I'm moving, still I'm grooving, still I'm solely in motion, but still this potion is Jason. I'm steadily overvoting, it's thought-provoking, but still I'm speaking. My mind is leaking, and all these people heating. But they saying today, I got my gores there. And see, I see on the corner where the whore's there. But ever since Caesar and Napoleon been around, there's always been some warfare. Yeah, y'all trying to change now. Everybody trying to maintain and trying to change games. But see, the game been the same since I was born. I've been cursed since my birth. And see, evidently I wasn't worth what my parents wanted me to be worth because my skin was too light. I was mixed with black and white. But see, everybody seeing black and white. They need to start seeing clearer. But see, I come through with more fear. And see, they gave me up for adoption. But still, they waiting on me right now. But still, I'm popping. In college trying to make it. But still, they trying to take it over, save this. But still, I'm baking in my mind. And I take this other route. Yeah, the mother route, the one that says, yeah, I'm a mother's boy, but still I'm trying to keep my cover, boy. You trying to tell me, trying to put me under covers, boy. Yeah, I ain't no fag in a hoe, but I best believe all these niggas out here trying to put a tag by my toe. Yeah, but see now, I tell you, Satan, I rebuke you, and they treat me like a computer trying to reboot dudes. Trying to reboot dudes, but I came on the block. Well, if I don't shoot you, you shoot me. But still I sit down and I shoot these rhymes to all these people trying to hear what they crew be. But see, yeah, I had battles with my girls, but still I had battles in this world. And she told me stop cheating or I'm gonna harm you. So I made it up. I love that Lucky Charms too. Same thing that did do. Same thing that dude did. But still I ain't no real kid. I get ruthless, leave niggas toothless on the same. But see, they always talk about my appearance, cat. But see, sometimes my appearance was the only thing that was on the clearance rack. So still, I try to make money. And still niggas try to make jokes and make funny remarks and shit. But still I just start this clip and the mic, and I told you I part this stuff, so I'm just gonna depart this shit.
Word.
We're gonna bring up Shona again. Her second piece of the evening. Say word.
Word.
Trying to think of what to say. To difference in between school and getting paid, so you know I paved the way for something strong. They're coming behind me, it won't be long. See, I'm not the only one with a strong mind, sign, rhymes. I'm one of a kind with an intelligent mind. If you want to make me stronger, if you do, it won't be longer until I'm the best. See, hate and envy put my jealousy to rest. Growing up fast had me running far from the nest. My praises to life, though, because it's made me this way. Anyone with something to say, come and say it today. I'm a phenomenal woman. Who are you? Come and show me that you are phenomenal too. Whether you're blue, true, red, dead, black, whack, white, right, can't sleep, purple cheek, do it big, just live, just do it, get to it. And when you do it, don't rest. Sooner or later, you'll be the best. Practice makes perfect. When you get it, it's worth it. Hit the road and work it, because I don't have time for it. Negativity, that is, I'm about money, life, and business. To live in this world, this white man world, the master like me, because I'm the best working girl. In this movie, he shows, take my hair out with my bad ass, with my flow, I'm blow, because I'm also the bad. I kill this devil with a simple backstab. I'm so glad, just don't know what's going on with me. I be the realest, trillish, I got the show, make a clone out of me. It would be the baddest motherfuckers you ever could see. Who me? Yeah, I heard how you do. I ain't gonna say nothing, but I think how everybody see how you frame. Yeah, I guess that's how it goes down, Spaghetti Junction. Where's that? Anyway, we're living in the present day where we don't dance, all we do is sway. Well, maybe we do, but nothing like old school. Forget all that work, all we want to do is be cool. Lean back, shake that ass, do the A-town stump. I don't want to do too much and look like a chump. Where do I go from here? Time to make that decision is coming near, but never fear. You're my dear when we came to the school, SSU, because you can get anywhere from here.
Word.
Word. Today's young. Next to the mic, we're gonna bring up a young lady by the name of Nikisha Jackson. So everybody give a warm welcome. Say word.
Word.
Okay, I'm doing peace, and it's untitled. I just wrote today around 5 o'clock. I may be young, but I remember the good old days when it was all about candy-coated raindrops, and those 3 pretty young ladies would tell us about how not to chase the waterfalls. And boy, do I remember jumping up and down in front of the TV, just jumping up and down because crisscross said so. These days, music has changed. It's all about who's sexing who and popping that thing. Now, there ain't too much harm in the song until some kid goes home and goes along and follows the song like instructions. Kicked an adult, put the gag to his dome. Now his mother is all alone, crying at home, trying to figure out why her baby followed those directions. So before you go out and buy those killer instructions, think about the good old days.
All right. Here for Nikisha.
Word.
Next to the mic is Young Child again. He know this whole, come on, say word.
Word.
I'm kind of mad about the other one though. Y'all missed my big punchline. The one about the Kroger Plus card. Anyway, this one is called Can't Get No Sleep. It's a real personal one, so just tears on this one. But here it goes. My trials won't allow me to close my eyes. They gave me 2 choices and I chose to fight. Otherwise, I could keep my eyes closed and die. But I got too much to live for to not be alive. Contemplated suicide, but shit, that ain't worked. Tried to slip my wrist to the bone, but they ain't hurt. So I just switched to the 3-point and hit the ground running in my soldier stance. I'm a warrior by chance and not coinky dinks, 'cause I ain't following the battle. The war came, it was up to me to come and bring the pain. Tribulations on my brain trying to damage my cranium. I brought a lot more than pads and helmets to the stadium. I came for the game, plus I'm deprivated of sleep. My life is at risk and I'm set to save it. I hit the pain, it harder than expected, and the next hit I take from this weed can halt my life's resurrection. Just look at my collection of hardships and blessings. Not enough to rest, but enough to relay the message. So listen up for the lessons of a true soldier, face down in my bed with no sheets. I can't get no sleep. I've been dealing with demons, fiending for life's very thrills. Chills up my spine got me screaming. It's just a test asking me if I'm strong enough to stop making excuses. Quit asking for amnesty and do this. I'ma screw up, yeah, I must admit. The time I spent to invent wasn't used wisely, and I'll be the first to remind you that I ain't the most studious cat on the block, but dog, I got heart. So So that places me ahead of the races, leaving them eating dust while they looking for traces. Tension in my bones, afraid to go home. Been picking my battles close with a fine-tooth comb. It's more than just trouble, man. It's my peace of mind. So when these cats be trying to take a piece of mine, I just let them know I ain't finished and I ain't done yet. And the dudes like me forgive, but they never forget. And it's a very thin line between a battle and war. You could be waving white flags and still asking for more. So a lot's gonna break besides the glass in your jaw, all on account of you hating and harassing. My tension is crashing. I had to push the unimportant to the side and start focusing on young. A lot of mini-me's, but there can only be one. Cause I'm worth the sweat and tears and the blood to match. It was, in fact, the years I was trying to catch. It's more than a melody, it's life or death, speaking words of nonsense through their lifeless breath. Success lane was what nobody could see me in. I always thought I had the missing ingredient. Mama telling me only a pen and a pad can replace the hurt. Mama telling me she wanna see my face in church. Got me feeling like nobody embraced my birth. Shit, I'm a man. Do what you do and make me work. Cause the work is all worth it. To earn my stripes with such passion, proud to live life in such a fashion, mashing on the streets, trying to get out and be heard, trying to be this, that, the first, second, and third. Hard to get respect, knowing competition's at your neck, slowing up your pace, look me in my face and tell me just how it feels to have unsolved mysteries and failed missions. The after effect is tension. Peace.
Hey, word.
Word.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be some more, huh? Before I bring up the next person, I'm gonna do a poem entitled Real Life Tragedy. And some of the people in my organization have heard it because I kind of play it all the time. But it's very personal, so it goes like this. Staring at my reflection, I not only see my reflection, but the reflection of my drug-addicted mother. Laying in the bed of pain intensified, staring at the ceiling wondering how much more and for how long. My eyes started tearing and bleeding, looking as dreadful as Mary's eyes when she watched her virgin child slain, attached to some wood which was not worthy. I am crying inside, dying inside, on fire inside, lying to myself saying, I am okay, I am a woman, hear me roar. But I am really saying, I am scared, alone, and afraid. Please, rescue me. So I grab a pen and a pad so I can release the stressful energy. I don't want to resort to drugs nor sex to comfort me. See, I can't imagine my life without my mother. Funny how I can't fathom one with one either, for how can you desire what you have never known? And I don't feel too bad for me, feel bad for this microphone because it is hearing the pain in my voice more clearly than I can. And is my mother the reason in which I can't keep a man? Because every time I get one, I ask him to help me carry my burdens. A coach bag full of songs and a wallet embroidered, I am hurting, not as shallow as some might think. I'm not an ocean, but hell yeah, I'm ocean deep. Deep because of my tragedies and my scars. Deep because of mystery in my eyes. Deep because of the drive in my spirit. Deep. See, I want to allow myself to sleep comfortably. Dream sweet dreams that I am loved and everyone around me loves me. But I sometimes get tired of punching myself because I have to be my own mommy. Funny how jaws are dropping by people who judge me so easily. Care so much but they can't come see about me. Hating my blood because I have someone. They will call it robbery. Because he doesn't want to rob the banks of holes and smash behind closed doors of zeros. Yeah, they care so tremendously. Why can't another black woman just be happy for me? Why we can't get far because we are our own roadblocks. My life is not all poetry and play. It is sometimes filled with lonely nights and devastating days. I paint a smile on my face because I am tired of people asking, hey, Timber, what's wrong? I am tired of hurting like I am giving birth. I want to be loved and put before being put first. Understand my plea. Understand that this right here, at this very moment, is a motherfucking tragedy. Peace.
Word.
How's everybody doing?
Alright.
Alright, let's give Timber a hand for being a good host. Timber! Over the town. It's good to be back on campus, y'all. I ain't been here in a while. We were all family up in the house. I know me and Moses Brown, we twins, you know I know that, right? Yeah, we don't do it ahead of time. Been spitting for a while. It's a real new piece, y'all. We were at a show last night, and his sister, man, really inspired me. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and break this down. It's a work in progress. You may hear it again. It'll change if you hear it again. Everybody say, all right? All right. Give me a little head nod, all right? All right. All right. We'll hear it again, but right now grace and love like you do when you in church.
It's alright, baby.
Rapper. How can you compare a rapper to a poet? Last night, I saw a poet spitting in blood. So fuck what you know. So fuck what you think. This is what I know. Poets got more soul.
Aight?
Poets got no soul. So how can you compare a rapper to a poet? How can you compare a rapper that blows off gigs, paying him hundreds of G's, to the poet, pimping himself, pimping ourselves from gig to gig, spending hundreds just to make pennies, with the hope of maybe just breaking even, with the hope of just reaching one soul, with the hope of maybe our words will inspire somebody. And last night, I saw a poet standing in a pool of her own blood and spitting her soul into a microphone to an unworthy audience, and all because she wanted her family to see her perform because they had never saw her spit, never heard her spit before. Last night, I saw a poet spitting in her own blood, even when everybody else urged her not to come. But she had to come to that spot, even when the hospital said, if you do this, you may not make it back. But she had to be at that spot for her family, so they could see her spit. So fuck what you think. This is what I know, that poets got more soul, because I ain't never seen a rapper that got real hard. I ain't never seen a needle bring his eye. And I ain't never seen an elephant fly, and I ain't never seen a real honest politician. And I ain't never been a fat dude, and I ain't fucked at least twice. But last night, I saw a poet spitting in her own blood. I saw a poet spitting her soul into a microphone. And I thank God for my DNA that I have that poet chromosome. And last night, I thank God that I was a poet.
Word. Also known as word vessel. Say word, y'all.
Word.
How y'all doing tonight?
Right.
Alright, I got two poems to share. My first one is untitled. I wrote this last year, and I even shared it last year. And I have word vessel as my name, not so much as where discovery, but word of me. In the John chapter 1, the word was God. The word was with God. By the end of this poem, some of you will probably hate me, but I really don't care because you did not create me. You see, what I'm about to do is hit you with the truth, to encourage those of you who are Christians to serve God in your youth. See, I thought I could minister conflict-free, but that wouldn't work. So I decided to keep it real, and yes, this truth will hurt. Whoever the Son sets free is free indeed, because he is the truth, and the truth shall set you free. If I sugarcoat everything, I'll just be another phony. So just bear with me as I share my testimony. At age 3, I was touched by my babysitter's boyfriend, Mr. Molester. Then at age 12, I became a Chester. I can't believe I touched that youngin', because for real, that youngin' was my cousin. Then as I got older, I flirted with other girls here and there. And when people told me it was sin, I was already well aware. I indulged in perverse conversations and pornography to excite me. And after I was molested, I masturbated until I was 17. I saw a play that had characters in it that related to me. They acted out many things that people struggle with in reality. One character had been molested by her uncle, so she rejected men altogether. As a teen, she perpetrated as a man, got with a girl, and they became two birds of a feather. Then came a time when that girlfriend no longer wanted that life. She struggled but finally left her friend for Christ. Though I had no girlfriend, that character in the play touched me. And I gave my life to Christ when I was 15. Contrary to popular religious belief, everything did not become all peachy keen. The Lord made me clean, but I still struggle with things. After being saved, I told God I love you, but I still flirted with girls as I had from the start. You see, I honored my father with my lips, but not from my heart. When I was in the 11th grade, it seemed like everything went wrong. but now I know I went through it all just to make me strong. I made progress and then backslid in sin. I was like a dog returning to his vomit again. My feet were slipping like in Psalm 73, but then my faithful father stepped in and rescued me. In the 12th grade, I decided to really love God and leave those girls alone. He's helping me to live a life that glorifies him on his throne. Does this mean I'm perfect? No, but I strive to be. I live so that you can see Christ inside of me. Without him, I don't have the power to fight off temptation. That's why I thank him for giving me salvation. For once we have it for real, it's something we can't lose. Don't live in guilt and let the devil confuse you. If you have thoughts of drugs or sex or whatever you struggle with, don't beat yourself up about it. Just renew your mind so you can do that will that's perfect. If you're not saved, don't fret. God still loves you and wants you to come to him. And although many church folk and hypocrites have looked down on you, don't even worry about them. They need to examine themselves within, because by judging you, they're sinking even deeper in sin. All you need to do to be saved is know your ABCs. A for admit, C for confess, and B for believe. Because in my Bible, this is what I read. Just admit you sin, confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, and believe that God raised him from the dead. To live forever, that's one major thing you have to do. And even though our Father hates sin, just know he unconditionally loves you. This next poem is titled Real Love. And I know y'all know the Mary J. Blige song, Real Love. I'm searching for a real love. Someone set my heart free. And then it goes, why search for love when he's right here? As women, we tend to look here and there for someone who will care, when all along our Heavenly Father is right here, watching and waiting for us to call on him, drawing and calling for us to come to him, knocking on our hearts to let him in. He says, if it's intimacy you desire, come to me. If it's love you need, I am he. I'll be better to you than any man can ever be. For you I hung, bled, suffered, and died on the splintered cross made from a rough wood of a tree. No one else would have done that for you but me. I'm the lover of your soul, and I can't be replaced by sex. I fearfully and wonderfully made you beautiful. Don't believe any less. If you're burdened down with pains and hurts, come to me and I'll be the one to hold you and give you rest. You can trust me, I'm the truth. I can't lie to you. I'll be your husband, faithful and true. Just give me your broken heart and I'll make it whole for you.
Word. Word. We're gonna have two more people before we bring up tonight's featured guest. So will Freddie come to the stage? Say word.
She was the poet that Mr. Clinton Powell gave many words to, literally reciting last night, draining from an injury she received a week ago, I understand, in a car accident, of blood that I didn't even know it was that bad until I looked. So crazy love out to her, and she gave phenomenal words last night. Hopefully fast recovery for her. And what am I going to recite? Check, I'm the king of rock. There is none higher. To take my kingdom, you must use fire. I won't stop writing till I retire. Or expire. I'm confused about the state hip-hop is in, or what is now being tolerated in hip-hop. We used to use this craft of rhyming and DJing to host friendly battles among us. Even Big Daddy Kane and Rakim was understanding that battling on mics was just that, battling on mics. They were still mature enough to give complimenting remarks about one another after the mics were dropped. Nowadays, bodies of the most influencing MCs and DJs are dropped. But I am not enjoying the sound of the beat. How can one not respect the royalty of Jam Master Jay and Run DMC that it would not bother them to eliminate one of the three? I won't stop writing till I read a phrase that keeps echoing through my head.
My man Jam Master and DJ Run. The overlords playing MCs like an old accordion. And as if we are on accord, here we are again. Dealing with tragedy in a venue where there is no room for such. So I try to pull back the record over and over again like a DJ on the ones and twos, hoping that at some point before the happening, the needle jumps the groove of the tragic tune. That doesn't work. So I box spin the record again, using crossfaders to fade out the tune of the gap going boom. That doesn't work. So like a turntablist at a competition, I cut and scratch quickly right before the point that the incident occurs, hoping to ricochet the offender off balance and get out of hand. I vow now to apprehend mics. I will beatbox to rhythms of Jay's tunes. I will continue to backspin, cut, and scratch my words like jibba jam, jam, a jibba jam, jam, a jam, Master J, and DB J, run. Yes, that lonely morning, waking up in the rotten apple wasn't so exciting. Listening to my neighbor pump at high decibels, those voices as it cuts one tune from the archive of this dynamic trio. We must remember the influence Jam Master Jay and Run DMC had on the hip-hop existence, and respect the elders of this culture, using what the predecessors did to guide us to engage in that old style of authentic writing. One love, y'all.
I got it from AWOL Walks of Life, and it was when I heard, everybody else does it across the country. I'm like, oh, so it wasn't really all that original. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass around a pen. Don't nobody steal my pen, okay?
What's your name on?
No, it's all good, And, somebody, I guess we'll start in the back, right?
Write it over here.
Yeah, and we'll write, let's say, you write about 2 or 3 lines of how long, pass it to the next person, they write what they want to write, and so on and so on.
And we'll read that thing.
And somebody get up and read it, I'm gonna call somebody out, so just, you prepare to get put on the spot or something, okay?
Alrighty then. Our last person on the sign up sheet is Chantel. So, say a word.
Word.
My name is Chantel. I really don't have a rap poetry name as of yet. For some reason, I can't think of one, but I was told to cut it pretty short, so I'm gonna do this real short poem. Bring it on. It's called Jazz. That's her name, Jazz. 4770 Northwest 31st. Crack house right down the street from the Kurtz. Little girl plays in the yard's front door. 2 while her mommy lays bloody on the floor. Papa left broke after cutting mommy throat because mommy smoked up all of daddy dope. I guess it was a good reason. She provoked little Jazz unaware of the smoke. Coming from the pole that he left on the floor, a house on fire, hearts ablaze, Jazz caught up in that rage. Beaches ain't all that it's made in the county of Dade, with dope get paid, half fade, and hoes late. Uncle Mo lived down the street on 48th, the only one to take a mommy place, the one that touched your little baby face, and the one that fucked on the kitchen table at the age of 98.
Word.
Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I'm going to bring up J-Lat to introduce our part of the evening. Say a word for J-Lat.
Word.
Once again, sister girl Queen Sheba, I believe she resides now in Norfolk, Virginia, or DC, which one? Norfolk, Virginia, right? And she's tight to death, for real. Now, she came all the way down here, and, like I said, pours are not like 50 Cent and everybody else that be making millions and, hundreds of G's, whatever, because you only make so much money in the game, whatever case may be. But we like to pass around a little love off. Y'all know how we gonna do it in the church. And we're gonna sing, give it in Jesus' name. When we pass it. We're gonna do it like that, okay? Hey, if you give about $1, if you can give $1, please. quarter or whatever you have, please do that. Now let's start singing. Give, give, give. Give in Jesus' name. Give in Jesus' name. Amen. Give.
Sister Nietzsche couldn't be here. She wasn't in a car accident. She fell in the shower about 9 days ago. And you have to listen to your spirit, and you have to listen to your body. It tells you what's going on and what may be wrong. She had an infection in her knee, and it grew down to her leg. And so last night, she really wanted her family to hear her knee. And she came out and she had blood, pus. No, that's cool. It's cool. It's like telephone, you know. Never knew what was going on. So that's what's up. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for her. This was actually her feature, and as poets find each other on the road, a lot of times we share our space because opportunities come more rare than they do for hip hop artists and for singers. So, forgive them, Father, no, they know not what they do. Yeah, this is for everyone that voted. Forgive them, Father, no, they know not what they do. They know not what they do. Sing it with me. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. It doesn't matter which of the 4 variations of my name I use. They always seem to stop me at least 4 times before I check in. They know my flying pattern. Months before I book the ticket, I can almost hear them whisper, keep an eye out for the bald-headed sister with the hoop earrings and silver bracelets. I have a reputation, at least 4 internationals for being on edge when I come through. Ice grilling security, giving them fair warning not to do any extra shit to fuck with me. This time, I was half asleep watching airport TV, stressed out on 3 chairs, waiting on a plane that had mysteriously been delayed. The president was live in Philly. Watching from Memphis, I craved for 3 uncensored seconds to ask him why he doesn't spend that $80 billion on security in our subways, supply all the inner city school system with gateways, at least plant trees in the courts of tenements to provide shade on blissfully hot summer days. As I was blinking in and out of my sleep, he was standing safely in his homeland addressing the people of Iraq. I halfway overheard some bullshit-ass quote about him coming to end the reign of their oppressors, and they must have overheard me cursing the presidency on their 20th trip past where I was lounging, and finally, one of the TSA asked me how I felt about airport security while the president's speech bothered me. I stood and looked directly in his face and said, no matter how much time you take to make the flight delay while you escort every suspect to the plane, when we warriors of the underground finally reach everyone we decide to teach about the takeover, when the brothers on the corner realize the banks of America are financially supporting the ATF, when they get tired of working the street through the heat, the beast, and the growling stomach, it won't be hard to persuade them to use the weapons they were born with, and remind them to keep the chrome cop with a full clip. I didn't even blink when I noticed 5 more agents standing there. I guess that bitch thought I was supposed to be scared. I asked her, who do you think really invented COINTELPRO? We purposely set up in the slums so you remain oblivious. We initiate exercise programs in the gyms you give us while you rest easy, thinking you're helping the underprivileged. We use the facilities to train so the ammo won't be heavy when we decide to pay your politicians a visit. We've not forgotten. We've taken time to reorganize while you thought the revolution had died. Tell the president we're coming for America. Teachers will slip in test questions about Vieques. We'll see vendors for that supposed suicide by that brother in Hampton. All applicants will sit down and raise the right fist during the national anthem. We have not forgotten the little girls who that burn in Alabama or you support the apartheid in South Africa. Contrary to what you believe, our lives are not designed to evade and survive, but to handle these pressures directly, take over and educate. So if the president's dumbass ever decides to have a draft, if we're forced to choose our superficial freedom versus fighting for a country that only remembers we exist when it's in a crisis, we'll instruct everyone to sit at home, wrap their feet up, and laugh. We've been trained to face the consequence. We'll opt for the overcrowded prison system because we know then they'll have to appeal to the upper class and they ain't leaving their 401ks and dental plans to chase holographs of Bin Laden and Saddam Hussein. We're coming for you, America. Activists will continue dropping wisdom until the masses sick it, until the lethargic listen, until the wicked are missing. I said, I hope that answers your question. And of course I had a crowd by now. Just one more thing before I sit back down. All this double and triple checking my suitcase and backpack won't even matter. There'll be too many of us to capture. Your fear is why you have us all hemmed up here, because you know the truth is when the time comes, all you'll be able to do is run, because you'll not be able to hide behind any fucking bushes. tribes carved the symbols to mark them as the warriors in Cuba, the chiefs of Alaska, the kings of Sudan, the priests of the Taiwanese, so nigga please, should not be in our vocabulary. Before Christ, 17 prophets persisted to change the stigma they got stuck with. Instead of degradation, we should encourage them. Father, I am blessed to be in your presence. Brother, you are strong. Husband, I adore you. Son, you are wonderful. Grandfather, you are special. Uncle, you are intelligent. There are real-life superheroes. I've seen them from a distance. Some may not see what I see on the bus in the dawn of the morning. I've seen their capes disguised as Averex leather jackets, their crowns as ball caps turned backwards. Where you see a metal case lunchbox or attaché, I see a secret compartment where he hides the last few dollars he saved to take you to Cirque du Soleil, hides that seashell he'll make into a necklace, hides his go-go gadget arms just to hold you tight with, and that orange hat I'm sure is a secret agent transmitter where he gets all the directions for his secret missions, how to talk to young brothers that won't listen, showing misguided adolescents how to handle confrontation when their integrity is questioned, never break during challenges, and give thanks for your blessings. Even unnoticed, he never loses focus, always finds time to kiss his wife before rushing off to school at night. Sisters, your encouragement pushes them to study instead of clubbing, and they'll acknowledge you when asked what his goals include, and he responds, graduation. He transforms from scholar to father, using restaurant public bathrooms to switch suits, flies to pick up the children from the program after school. The 6-year-old tries to remain cool as father and son give each other that what up headline that makes the male greeting universal. There are real-life superheroes. I watch 6-foot corporate giants take the forms of teachers and leaders during Little League. You may even see them petitioning the city when crooked politicians were deciding which inner-city school district gets air conditioning, and they'll adore you for helping them with the red tape it takes to commit entrepreneur versus letting another state-funded higher learning institution rape them of every penny they borrowed from their families. And how dare we drool over the text of Lennox Lewis without acknowledging their dreams of becoming an athlete, and we do not fantasize over LL's lips kissing us on our split just to call it quits the first time we felt like it wasn't working. I don't see drug dealers and gangsters. I see young men knowing told they can make it. I don't see children out of control. I see young leaders that go without examples. I don't see elderly men without ambition. I see responsible individuals that sacrifice for their children. They are scientists by nature, planting seeds in the earth to birth creation. They are mathematicians by definition, one with the gods, to step before wisdom. Changing our demeanor will make them all visible. Spontaneously kiss them, I bet it makes a difference. Hug them, I bet they shed that skin that makes them so defensive. Be the example of patience and watch how quickly they reveal their true identities. I have come to know our black men not as brothers without direction, but as extraordinary humans, just waiting for someone to let them know, brothers, you are my superhero.
Word. Word. Yeah,
Read y'all a poem. This poem is called Annie, and it's I've been meaning to memorize this joke forever. Sometimes you just write so many, you know, and then you try to memorize. Memorizing is difficult. It's emotionally draining. You have to say it over and over and over and over, and then like you're like, wow, every time you like said it 100 times before the first person hears it. All right, so keep cursing me. I've been cursing. Oh, it's not a free country.
Everybody in here wrong.
But that's
This is-
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are a free country. Motherfucker.
Well, that's in this room.
in this room.
This I went to visit Ghana, not this past summer, but the summer before, and we went to go help a camp of little girls who had AIDS and HIV. Thou rest, easy the morning is coming. Hey, 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 hey. Time out. Hold on. Have y'all seen the Nelly, the new album, the sweatsuit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Darling, rest, easy the morning is coming. Hey, 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 hey. Similar to the lullaby my grandmother used to sing me, wrapping her wrinkled skin around my insecurities. Funny, the monster never come from under the bed when she was round, only winking one eye in my solitude. Shadows transform back to stuffed animals, And that old cat scratching Miss Johnson's just trying to get in. Never doubting my stories, her embrace was like being immersed in the smell of cinnamon. Her presence warm and her voice sweet, lifting my 3-year-old body, rocking me, darling, besties, the morning is coming. Hey, 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 hey. In the morning, the raspy indigo of her voice reverberated like memories. Our secret code was pancakes and a syrup kiss. Adulthood would summons the ancient chant almost automatically, stored in the Rolodex of my private thoughts, called upon whenever the orange in my aura turned purple, shipping its way into blue. It was one of those nights in West Africa, and across sunsets our remains of mangoes melted into the dwelt of the sweltering of the midday, the spirits and punishment responsible for painting dusk. And I would pray as we would head north to Kamasi. The doctors in our camp would miraculously find medicine in the leaves, pull out a miracle like cartoon characters pulling out acme. Why couldn't we conveniently find a cure in the oils embedded in the history of our trees? Read each ring to find the ancestors we've been missing, an American. His company sent him to work in Ghana 6 months before. One night, as usual, he phoned home. His wife opened the envelope to his test results. It must be the food or the third-rate facilities. I must have touched one of them or lying in their bed sheets. He was uneducated about his options. He left around midnight and raped 5 children, said he would find a cure in the flower petals of a virgin, 9 and bright-eyed, bigger than the soup saucers I was forced to bring her. Annie was one of them. 12, she wanted to know if her vocabulary could be broadened. 12 and intelligent, she wanted her vocabulary broadened, so in heaven she could speak to God in English. He must be American. He never answered me, and she, funny, I prayed every night, but my father won't visit me. I whispered, I'm determined to learn Yoruba or Swahili so God will at least recognize me. And when she wasn't sleeping, she made me a vocabulary list. Madawase, Akwaba, Etese, Iye. I could barely concentrate. Shaking her bed frame, tell me what he looks like. I'll search the 650 million on the continent to find him. He ripped into her hymen, tore into that secret and raped her of her childhood, killing her with each thrust, tearing her walls until there was bloodshed. She said the best vengeance for our enemies is to let them live with their memories. Their deaths will be dark, not dark like black, dark like forgotten, and their souls erased from the history of the world. Besides, he couldn't steal my virginity. He may have damaged the vessel, but God saves it in a box in heaven, lined with angel feathers until my wedding. And I promised to make a tiara made of coconut hair. Why couldn't the myth be true? Let me find a monkey's blood for her wounds, but there's no drinking bleach to clean the disease, only AZT and a few other drugs reserved for the wealthy. A prolonged life is found in herbs and healthy eating. Ao, Dabe, Aduante, there is no food here, no nutrition in the garbage the Americans send us. Urban legend lies. Africans are not the ones most promiscuous. Our youth program cringes when planning a sex ed field trip to the free clinic. Panic when they take too long to study the sheets, glance around and hide their answers with their arms, palm the box that solicit the number of sexual partners, peeling back their fingers to reveal over 60 partners. I am silent during tonight's lesson. How can I justify how the U.S. claims to prevent AIDS in Africa when the same breath prevent to cease AIDS to Africa? Our promiscuous government that puts the finger to us in the Oval Office. Sitcoms that promote sexing anyone that helps us to forget our shortcoming. The FCC that bans Sarah Jones for female empowerment but lets Nelly flaunt teabagging. Over 1.5 million children under 15 are concerned if they're going to see their parents in the morning, when their biggest worry should be if their Little League team is making playoffs. Before she left me, I told her one last lie. My son, Abba, I am coming back for you. Eyelids stinging like needles. I couldn't stop watching. Eyelids stinging like needles. I couldn't stop watching. And she replied, Mabre. My logic, if I didn't move, she wouldn't stop breathing. Counting her last breaths, I rocked her in the hammock I made of fresh linen, put wild flowers in her hair. I picked out her favorite dress and whispered Atelier. The field was covered in over 30 small mounds from the children buried before her. The news came back to our camp before we left. The American was sentenced to death, and he confessed he contracted AIDS at home from his mistress in Maryland. He had been careless then and blamed it on his business trip. Instead of being faithful, he gets 5 counts of murder. Even now, in the witching hour, sometimes the noise will wake me, and I know Annie has brought the children to hear me sing. In the mornings, I make them pancakes while humming, Darling, rest, he's the morning is coming. Hey, 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 hey. Darling, rest, easy only, you know how. Freedom, hey, 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 hey.
Yeah.
everybody on stage was like, it was tight, it was hot, it was hot, it was hot, it was hot. Like, both of them was like, yo, that was hot, it was hot. She was fired, it was bad. Like, the whole in the middle. That's good that y'all support each other. We're all the beautiful women that make some noise, Yeah, I hate Beyonce. I hate her so much. Yes, she's very fake. I saw this picture of her and her like weave was coming up. I was like, see, yeah, real hair. But this is for all of us women who continue to look at videos and still sometimes may get depressed or question if we're beautiful enough, if we're shaped the right way, if brothers still look at me in my afro and my red, black, and green skirt.
Yep.
Word.
Yep. Word.
So sometimes just because we write the poem doesn't mean that we're necessarily over the problems that it caused. So, little brown girls trace circles in gray misty mirrors to cover the image that flinches because their vision is conditioned by the system. Painting red lips under green eyes when the first guy pays her a little attention, she pays him a little pussy. Not realizing we're raping the way we're living if we allow outside influences to persuade decisions made on our physical condition. Flipping through the latest issue looking for an image to transition into because someone that lacked confidence in their individualism told her eccentric wasn't beautiful. The anorexic sister in the magazine is the role model for how she wants to be seen because no one told her superficial is temporary. No one told her more than reflection. She's carved from the beautiful red clays of Georgia, molded by the yellow-orange rays of the sun. Body's been naturally like the Mississippi River, kept fresh and moist by the tropical rains of the Amazon, bearing fresh and ripe fruits of the earth, but neglect is left to the spoil. Rotten the droughts of Tennessee, standing in the bathrooms of broken homes, hoping to attract the reactions of men with blushing foundations where Max is making Africans careless, like the deserts of the Sahara. Makeup cracks midday, leaving her self-esteem shattered on playgrounds and nightclubs, and smeared on pillowcases of strangers she's known for years. Young brown women trace circles in gray misty mirrors, putting fingers down our throats and purposely missed meals. We're tearing up our insides to try to fit in on the outside. We're fitting into a pair of sucos doesn't make us invincible and makes us vulnerable. Relying on someone else's validation to make our life worth living. When the best love is self-love, we relax and become comfortable. A spirit that metamorphosizes inside, you glow compared to sunshine. So many times we ignore the quiet voices in our head to pass compliments to strangers we don't even know. But what we don't even know is you may have been the first one to tell them, sister, you're beautiful, or your eyes sparkle, or sister, you're fine. Because you never know if you've seen them for the first or the last time. We tend to pull back every time someone smiles or tries to make eye contact, afraid to let people reach where our confidence lacks. Elderly brown women trace circles in gray misty mirrors, covering their grays with dyes, using creams and lotion to try to smooth out lines, erasing traces of wisdom, pinching, tucking, and lifting parts having hung low in experience because no one told them their breasts now hold milk to replenish the earth in their eternal rest. Hips widened to make resting places for grandchildren, listening to stories of the Angola 3 at midnight summers in the port swing. No one told them the real gift is losing physical sight to protect your souls from witnessing the tragedies women fighting for liberation will suffer in this life. Tonight, we realize the search for physical beauty comes from how comfortable we fit in our self-esteem. And the only genes we need have been passed down in our bloodstream. The only paint we need on our face are the tribal stripes of warrior women and the intricate details of a mask painted for a wedding. Tonight, women of all shades will trace circles in gray misty mirrors, comfortable with being natural, because I was told we have nothing to make up for. Alright, I'm gonna do 1.5 more and then
So one. Well, do your thing. Just stay there
anybody
all
in a
night.
relationship?
In a what?
Relationship.
What's that called? I don't know what that is.
Like yeah, okay. Anybody in a relationship?
Start in my vocab.
Okay. Are the people that you're in a relationship with, are they in here?
Oh, praise
Are y'all together?
Hey, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Hold on, you forgot two more people right there.
Oh, y'all be.
That's
No,
beautiful.
National Domestic Violence Month is every October, and this is unfortunate, we have a whole month to celebrate tragedy. Kind of like Black History Month. So, strong, beautiful black men and women, we no longer have to take abusive relationships. There is enough people for you to find the right person and for someone to love you for who you are. 28 like me, but you know, it's good. This poem is something I wrote after I got out of an abusive relationship. And you know how like you're in one, you can give all the advice in the world. You know what I mean? You can get out, girl, fuck him. But you'll be in the same thing, but mine's different. It's different. Y'all understand me. So
He's good to me.
this is for both men and for women. On June 10th, 1998, she had a choice. Something unexplainable was giving her warning, but she refused to listen to her inner voice. She couldn't place her fingers on it then, so she tried to pretend that this wasn't happening, that the love of her life wasn't acting, and ignored it. She convinced herself this was love. She knew her friends only told her to leave because they didn't understand them, but this was unexpected abuse. The kind that creeps in through the slightest crack of insecurity and surprises you. The kind where your only shield is your 45 minutes after midnight, when you're connected in peace, cocooned in the sheets, and the energy from the afterglow your bodies make have blinded you. The kind where words replace knives to cut through you. And no matter how much she tried, she couldn't trust anyone enough to talk to and ignored it. Prayed that he would change, that the words would change, and endured it. Not realizing that 4 years later she would bore the emotionally destructive behavior with pain and anger harvest. She thought the verbiage he used was cool because every single movie she watched or any book she read, the woman that the hero hurt the most would be the damsel in distress he would return to. And she wanted a happily ever after too, so in an effort not to lose the man of her heart would be the last to choose. She endured the blows to her soul. She believed fuck you meant I love you and I'm just mad at you. She thought that bitch was a term he used when he was pissed, but after 4 long years she realized it became habits. A sister said once that a new man will always know when a woman is used to taking abuse just by the way she allows the people that make up her circle to talk to her. So call me an extremist, determined never to be humiliated by love again. I am now paranoid of new relationships. Won't let anyone get close enough to find happiness. And as soon as someone starts to show a serious interest, without even knowing it, I push them away. Because my subconscious has stored the flash film and burns, afraid and blinking neon letters across my gray matter. Because it doesn't matter if you're not finished loving someone. When they're finished loving you, the only question becomes, how much more are you willing to go through? What's the one thing people say after you tell them all your latest problems? Well, at least you still have your health. And so you have to remind yourself, without that, you damn sure can't save the world, much less yourself. See, one day in a deep conversation, I was told we all have that one special case relationship. The one that no matter how long it's been since you've seen them, as soon as someone breathes their name, it makes your insides flip. The months they stay away, we pray God will bring them back with a change of heart. Be careful, because God will give you exactly what you asked for. Could call you today and say, let's get back together, and you actually consider it. Please remember that abuse has no color, has no gender, and won't give you the game plan or specifics, and will only label you victim if you surrender. So, we're all the good men at.
Word.
So are the good men with cycle chicks, slashing your tires, breaking your windows, blacking out.
Summer 2003. 2003.
10:35.
For
That's
all
right.
the good men that have women going through your things while you're not at home, breaking the password to your voicemail and answering your cell phone. For all the good men that stuck around because she swore it was the last time and begged you to stay, pack everything you can take in one bag and just walk away. For all the good women, where all the good women at? Good women? All the good women with bullies for boyfriends following you and your girls to the mall, cursing you out because you were spending his cash and forgot to call. For all the good women that have men that know when you're supposed to come on your cycle before you do. And it's all up in your face tripping because he's guilty of infidelity. Well, I explained to him all the stress he's putting you through has made you a few days late. Pack everything you can take, and if he stands in your way, tell him to call your brothers and his mother and just walk away. Because abuse is abuse, no matter how much you try to change it or shape it, and people will give it as long as you take it. Get back on that.
All right.
I also have CDs available, albums. Actually, I have albums.
We get college discounts?
Yes, you can. Right? Yeah, it's not a game. It's not a game.
Hey, shit,
Food
it's good.
stamps, WIC, yes. EBT, you guys got the cards you can go to cafeteria with.
Yep.
You need to just get a sister a meal, you know what I'm saying? And the money that you guys put in the hat, in the basket, is also going to meet you too. So if you feel moved, to give again. For real. Because sometimes it's hard to ask yourself before, the performance. I'm like, what am I giving to you?
But I told y'all she was tight, right?
So.
You were looking at me funny, I know you were.
But you know how people are, they be like, yeah, motherfucker, perform, backflip.
He said backflip.
So this white girl said that shades and dashikis don't make us Africans. Oh. So I said, FYI to white cats who think 6 months of gel and beeswax will make your hair matte, dread caps don't make you black, nigga. When I say mathematics, shallow thinkers blurt out triggers their first reaction. Well, imbalance was what I'm after. My father died of mother. My mother's a social adversary. It makes my instinctive ride and move attitude the reason you love to hate me. I do this so my enemies can party when I'm buried, so my son won't have to worry. I told him endure tough times now. In the next 5 years, you can listen in the top 10 of the power 30. Even death threats don't alter my subject, so you suggest to make my message more passive is fruitless. I purposely write curses in my verses so the audience doesn't feel nervous inquiring if this is natural or rehearsal. I tell them it's the first. I'm not trying to be cured. Therapy can end my career in poetry. If you're watching my life, wonderful. Listen to me carefully. Here's a quote. Tell the Pope to hire me. I touch more men, women, and children than a Catholic priest. I'm in heavy rotation from Cuba to Accra. You can't claim full time until you have flight patterns memorized. Promoters kick us heavy-hitters to the bottom of the list because we chill how they wish they could live. I tell them you can't have anything good without sweating some regrets as a warning. Creoles don't have shit on my voodoo. If you're not careful, your crew will end up like NASA. Need another 7 assassins. I'm a night boy, a nigga. I shift shapes and shadows like Transformers. Organizing meetings at the store in the corner to get the blacks in the military to start making examples out of these crackers. Hanging from a burning rope by their throat and laugh as we sell their children away. And ain't no real brother gonna fuck a white bitch, so we'll use blunt objects to assimilate rape. VA baby, home of the world's largest label base. Legalized slavery, indentured servants at your service. A floating jail sentence. And for those of y'all that wonder if poets sleep late, my answer is this. I know several y'all that sleep all day while you're awake. That's why at night we rally the masses, the spoken word classes, make subliminal message as the DJ spins backwards. And it doesn't matter if audience members stand in front of me and block my view. I don't need to hear your description of freedom to guide me. Guide my eardrums to the front with your rhetoric, and definitely pure poetry enlightens me. But if you're dissing me, stand up straight and speak clearly. Otherwise, you can take the second option that might keep you safe. Get off the stage, move the fuck out the way. Move.
Word. I need my
So give it up one more time.
word.